You know something, guys? I've always been proud to be my authentic self. Um, right now, I've been really troubled. I am of the opinion that just because a person has dementia, they still have ethical and legal rights as a human being. And yes, they're people. Um, I see the point of having a dolls test because obviously they don't have the aptitudes and skills as a person without that illness, and they have to be safeguarded. I agree with all that. Um, Back in the day when we looked after my grandmother, who lived to 100 years old, we all mucked in together, and my two aunts that were quite elderly themselves did most of the dog's body work, but we did get care support, uh, which was only fair and just, because it wouldn't be right to just overload my two aunts. I was going to university at the time, and I wasn't always there, and my mum was working still. Um, why I bring this issue up is that the reason is we had granted probate from a next of kin. Well, it's my mum's next of kin. He died in 2017, and we both saw a lot of him. Latterly, I didn't, but that was only the last 2 years, like 40 odd years. We saw him every other weekend. And like I say, no kids. And it seems like the probate has taken forever since 2017 to release. So let's hope it's released soon, because my mum is coming into 84 years of age on the 13th of August, and she's not really getting any better. She's got numerous chronic problems, and it's tenuous life at that age anyway. But she is always named aunt in any guidelines or wills, but it seems to be the case that they think, I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, seems to be the case that they think, oh, she's an old lady with dementia, she doesn't really know what's going on properly, but she is still very aware. She recognises me, but that's not the point. It's just, why bother? Because, even if I lavish gifts on her, and she'll probably need a lot of palliative care in the future, but even if I do that, what's the point, and what's the point of me wanting to be a loving daughter? Well, I'm sorry, I can see the point of certain things, but it's going a bit too far, this, isn't it? Back in the day, obviously, we didn't have the dolls, the deprivation of liberties, with Grandma, because we all, as I say, mucked in together, and we were devoted as an extended family. We were clannish, because my grand's husband, was Scottish, of Scottish descent, but it's not only that, it was like a whole amalgam of things, because we have different ancestries, and going back, they're probably also quite religious and clannish. We had various aspects in our ancestry, and especially my grandmother. So on my granddad's side, they had that clannish Scottish aspect, and other elements on my grandmother's side, which was all about extended family, really. So I think dolls is viable if you've not got a lot of people there for you, but if you have family that is kind and loving, want to be there, and are responsible and intelligent, then why not? But also, people with dementia, people with their own rights, they have certain legal rights. Why think, oh, I won't bother granting the probate to my mother and look for other relatives who weren't really close and they weren't in connection with the family to have priority just because, oh, my mum's, treating her like she doesn't matter. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's coming across like, oh, my mum's just a vegetable anyway, so why bother releasing probate to her? But why not allow me to handle the monies, because I would probably inherit after her anyway. And I know I'm kind, I know I'm responsible. Okay, I should be overseen just like other people, but it's not the point, is it? I mean, why, if the probate has been extant since 2017, it's a terribly long time to have probate, and it doesn't seem like any other relative was closer or more involved. And to be quite honest, I was the only person that arranged the funeral and everything, and gravestones, etc., for the dead relative. So I'm thinking, what's the purpose of this? This is quite callous. And also, it would potentially help my mum's place of residence. I mean, at this rate, because her illness is progressing, even though she would have wanted to be at home, it's looking at this rate that is going to be impossible. The only way forward would be if she was granted the probate, then her wishes before she had dementia could be addressed, but then it probably not. But at least she would have the potential of me to buy her more clothes and buy her lots of things which would help her cope with potentially distressing illness in the future. Like relaxation therapies, the whole lot, aromatherapy. You could pay for everything that way, even if she was in a place of care. So I don't understand the way society's going. And like I say, that I've always been well looked up to and held in quite high regard since I was a kid in Tarpley. So I'm entirely trustworthy. And as far as that's concerned, I'm sort of in contact with local authorities. So what's the issue about? It seems really, really weird, if you ask me. But the thing I'm proud about more than how I look or how educated I am is that I'm actually an authentic person who is proud to speak out to protect others, and especially to protect the vulnerable, but also because I'm authentic and I don't go with the crowd necessarily. I go with common sense and democracy, but I am a person in my own right and my own entirety, and I don't jump on any political bandwagon. I just speak my own independent philosophy of mind. And I was always a big fan of Chesney Hawkes back in the day. So I'd really like to sing this song. Call me call me by my name, or call me by my number. I'll still be doing